the ruin, the heart and pride, Silsbee live. Breaking the news, your local view, we're on your side, on Silsbee Live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Silsbee Live. Before we start the show, I want to wish everybody, I want to thank everybody for watching the show. We do have some exciting news, but before we get to that, I do want to take a minute and talk about Kerrville, talk about the Hill Country, talk about all those people that are affected up there.
My
mom is from that area.
Lots of, actually, you'd be surprised how many people from Silsbee
Right.
kind of retired over that way.
Absolutely. I know one of our good friends, what's it? Always, because we always talk about how we're bald.
Dale Boothman.
Dale Boothman, yes. He lives up that way.
I texted him the other day. They're fine.
Yeah. So I do want to say real quick that our thoughts and our prayers are going out to those people up there who have just, I mean, it has been so traumatic, and it is a disaster. And so thoughts and prayers go out to those people. I know that I looked it up today, so I'm going to real quickly share this. I know there are people out there who are getting things together in sort of a response to this. St. Anne's Church is doing a donation drive for Texas Hill Country flood victims in cooperation with the Holy Trinity Catholic Church. They are collecting packaged snacks and protein bars, diapers, baby and senior, baby wipes, sanitary wipes, hand sanitizer, toiletries, cleaning supplies, 5-gallon buckets, new mops and brooms, bleach, paper plates, utensils, all of that stuff. You can drop it off at the Manger Youth Center. We will get the address to that. But Monday through Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can contact Chris Ward for information, 409-782-4308. So y'all, if you can, I know there are people out there who are trying to get things together to help these people. Please donate what you can. If it's water, so be it. Whatever it is, just please give out of your hearts to take care of these people who have suffered through this horrible thing. But thoughts and prayers go out to them. So, welcome to Silsbee Live. I do want to say that for the first time, and Bo Hoffman, who is sitting right here, we'll get to him in a minute, but for the first time ever, not only are we on Facebook, but we're also on TikTok and Twitch. 1337. Sorry. I'm not, he said text me the pen. I was like, I'm right here. But yeah, we're on TikTok and Twitch tonight. We will be on YouTube starting next week, but this episode will be aired to YouTube later tonight. So you'll be able to catch the episode after on YouTube. I'm sorry. I wanted to be on YouTube tonight along with everything else, but things kind of happened and I didn't get there in time. So we still have like an hour and a half left to go before we can go live on YouTube. But so real quick, thank y'all for watching wherever you are. in the comment section, if you want to leave a comment, a chat, you want to talk to Bo or myself, more than welcome to. We're happy that you're here watching with us. So let's get down to it. We want to thank our amazing sponsors. You can see them scrolling throughout the night on the screen there. So thank y'all all for your support. And we're going to give you a shout out on the show here in a little while. But we want to get right down to it and introduce our amazing, wonderful guest. He has been a friend of mine for a very long time now. And he is he's a great family man. He holds many hats. He is the co-owner of Cat's Korner right here in Silsbee. He is a scoutmaster for the Boy Scout Troop 88. And he is the newly elected Board of Trustee member for Silsbee ISD. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Bo Hoffman. Everybody, hey, Bo. All right. All right, man. Without, dallying, let's get into it. Is dallying a word? Okay, I thought so.
Dilly-dally.
Dilly-dally, yeah. All right, let's get into it. Let's kind of start with business because I know that's something that you're really passionate about.
Yeah, probably not as passionate as my wife,
Right.
This whole Cat's Korner was her dream, and it's kind of morphed into our dream, and hopefully by the end of the year morph into something even bigger since we bought the property, the old Slavics property. Hopefully that's going to come to fruition for us by the end of the year. We're still waiting on a couple things from the architect, builders on standby, waiting for the final drawings. Money's there. We're ready. We're eager. I'm ready to go get a shovel and do it myself.
Right.
But everything comes in due time. We want to do it right. We want to make sure that we're doing it.
Did y'all do the picture with the shovel?
Not yet.
Already?
Not yet.
Okay.
I guess that's something we got to talk to Melissa and Sarah and the team down at the chamber about.
Absolutely. And you need to invite me so I can do a live.
Sure.
When that happens.
We have all them concrete pads out there that one of them we're not going to get rid of. I think we've got some plans for that big pad where Slavics used to be.
Right.
We're leaving that, but we're going to have to clear quite a the other things. So, we can get you out there and get to live broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fresh barbecue out there from 3BQ.
Hey.
Some other things going on out there.
I love me some 3BQ. That's for sure. So, and that's something because it's, we talk about the show a lot about how we can take history, a place where super historical Slavics meet in grocery, and something beautiful can come out of it. And that's going to be the new building for Cat's Korner.
Yes, we hope everybody will love the building. We've put a lot of thought into it. It's going to be, so my wife and I really love the hill country. And we go up to Fredericksburg a lot, and we've taken pieces of several of the wineries that we really enjoy visiting and put it into this one building. Something I wanted to mention before I forget. We still have the old Slavics sign.
Yeah.
That's in storage for us. And when I was going through storage, there's an old drop-in cooler, big old reach-in cooler that's an old antique one that used to be in the store.
That's so cool.
Sitting in there that we're going to try to maybe work on refurbing. And
I love that.
So
see,
yeah, we like the
beautiful.
history of this town. Katharina grew up here. I transplanted here, about 10 years ago, but been visiting this town since her and I started dating back in 98. So
and that's kind of the thing, right? Because the beauty of a small town and small town culture is that you take what once was and make it become. And that's what y'all are doing is y'all are making it become. People will walk into your shop. Older people will walk into your shop, and I'm going to prophesy this if anybody catches that. They're going to walk into your shop and say, I remember buying stuff from Slavics right where I'm standing today. And that's the coolest idea that I think I've ever heard, is how we can, the past and the future can come together and make something beautiful.
Yep.
I had something on here about anything exciting coming in the future, but
well, I kind of jumped right into that, didn't I? No, in current things, Cat is always Cat, and then my son, who's an amazing kid. Who I was going to bring him today, but he insisted on staying home and making dinner for his mama.
Look at that.
Because she's been working. She picked up a couple extra shifts in the ER. She is still ER nursing on the side too. So, he stayed home, made dinner for her. Those two masterminds are always doing something crazy in the shop. We're dabbling with. We've never served lunch really on Monday. We're dabbling with. I think she's actually going to do it tomorrow. Pick up some lunches on Monday.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of options in Silsbee right now.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Silsbee has a lot of places that are shut down on Mondays. Downtown is kind of stale on Mondays. There's not much going on, so she's trying to bring it back.
But let's talk about your son for a minute, because this dude, I'm going to tell you, Ty is incredible, and he makes food that I can't pronounce. That's.
I'm the same way. He's like that, when he comes up with these ideas, he's like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, and he's so passionate about it.
Yes.
Like, that's the beauty part of it. And just like his dad, he's a a guy about town, right? That's what we used to call him, man about town. So not only does he do this, but he's also in Troop Scout 88.
Yes.
And he is an Eagle Scout?
He is working on his Eagle project.
Okay.
It will be starting in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
And tell us a little bit about that, because I know that we had put out some stuff about donations for this.
Right.
So
he's raised quite a bit of money. He is working on a prayer garden that's going in at the Methodist Church.
That's awesome.
We've been waiting on the old building. I think some of y'all probably driven by and saw that the old house that was next to tore down. There was a lot of issues with it. It just wasn't economical to keep it going.
Right.
But we were waiting on that to get tore down to start his new project. Prayer garden that he's dedicating to a couple different things. First, dedicating it to the memory of all the fallen officers around here.
That's awesome.
Beaumont Police Officers Union has graciously given a big chunk of what he needed for it. And then we had, and I think I mentioned this one time to you, we had a gentleman that kind of helped me get through scouting and becoming the leader that I am, pass away on us very unexpectedly. So part of the garden's going to be dedicated to him also. But on top of that, I have another scout who is going to be adding to that when Ty gets done with more of the foliage and the benches and things like that, who happens to be the son of the gentleman who passed away. So there's going to be a lot of sentimental value to that for us and the Self family, and also the church, because they're members of our church.
Yeah.
But he does so many other things besides the cooking, which he is more of a passion for him.
Right.
He doesn't know if he wants to do it as a career, maybe more of a personal type chef thing. He really loves numbers. He loves accounting. He's in theater. He's super big into theater.
Amazing theater. He did Frozen not too long ago.
Frozen last year. They did.
What was the one act play?
The one act play was. I'm so sorry, Miss Welch. I cannot remember.
I forget the name of it too.
But it was one of the best plays I've ever seen.
Yes.
Laughed so hard. Ty took the lead male role in that, and at first he didn't want it, but after he took it on, he nailed it. Before that, he was Uncle Fester and Adam's Family, and nailed that one. He is. I don't know how Katharina and I produced this child, but he has become better than me and her put together.
Man, I hope Ty watches this and hears that, because that right there is one of the biggest compliments ever. Which somebody told me, the play that they did for one act play, they were like, man, there was only one other play that I ever saw at Silsbee High School that was like, went to that round and was that good, and it was the Somewhat True Tales of Robin Hood. And they were telling me that, and I was like, that's good.
It's called Sweet Surrender.
That's Sweet Surrender, yeah.
Into my head, Sweet Surrender.
And you want to hear, Ty, this is gonna be cool to you. You know who was in that play, the Somewhat True Tales of Robin Hood? This guy. I played Little John. I only had like 3 lines.
And now you're big.
But anyways, so you have an amazing son. You have an amazing wife. Y'all are rocking it over there. I told somebody yesterday that they know how to catch my attention, because they started making dirty soft drinks.
30 soft drinks.
And I was like, I can have a dirty Diet Coke.
Yep.
Like,
And don't ask me what goes in them. It's kind of a trend going around everywhere.
Yeah.
So with small businesses, you've got to get on the trends.
Yeah.
To get people in the door. It's kind of like Costco does with and Sam's does with the cheap chickens. You're losing money on it, but you're getting people in so they can go buy other things. So you really, as small businesses, you have to kind of jump on these trends.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can get people into your shops.
Thank you, Sarah.
And start, getting more people to get interested in your products. January, June, July, we call them the J months. They're very tough for small businesses. January, coming right off of Christmas, not a lot of people want to spend money. June, July, everybody's traveling. Probably 60% of our customers are teachers.
Right.
They don't want to get out of the house.
No.
They've been around hooligans for 8 months straight. They're ready to stay home and have some quiet time. So J months for us and a lot of small businesses. You can talk to Beth next door at Doodlebugs. You can talk across the street at the market. We are all like really slow this time. So, and what makes it even more difficult is this is a lot of people's fundraising times. I know the FFA comes around a lot of times. Schools. One thing you didn't mention is somehow I'm now the OpGrad president also.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no.
Let me write that down.
But so all these organizations, OpGrad, all these other boosters are starting to fundraise right now, and it's very difficult for these small businesses who are struggling through the summer months to give, and it's very frustrating from a booster side because the people who we're relying on are having a hard time giving that because it's just that time of year that it's very difficult. School ramps back up, things get kind of back to normal.
Right.
So you try to pigeonhole as much money and pocket as much money as you can, just to kind of make it through these tough summer months as a small business owner.
Well, you're doing great. And let's go to the comments real quick just to kind of talk about something. Rhonda Ten says, Bo, Cat, and Ty are such an amazing asset to this community. Sarah, our dear friend, Miss Castelaw, says, Ty has the sweetest heart ever and gives the best hugs. Michaela Castelaw says, Blue families will be grateful for this. I think she's referring to the...
Oh, yes. Michaela is Sarah. So Sarah, we love Sarah. Sarah and Katharina have been friends since, and they were like 14 or 15
Absolutely.
years old. And then Michaela is Sarah's daughter, and she's been like a daughter to us from the beginning. And yes, Michaela married a wonderful police officer. So Blue runs deep in their family now too.
Right. I'm trying to read the comments.
I am too. I really like this screen. You've done an amazing job on your new.
Thank you so much.
Which reminds me, I got something for you.
Oh, he's got something for me.
Time out on the questions.
Okay.
So this is for you get a bottle of champagne.
Yes.
You have a grand opening coming up.
I do.
I expect to be able to share a glass of champagne with you
100%.
During the grand opening.
Absolutely. Okay? Look at that. I know we probably can't show that on camera, but who cares?
Hey,
this is my show. I do what I want.
It's your show.
It's non-alcoholic. It's all right.
What'd you say?
It's non-alcoholic. It's all right.
No, that's the apple juice cider sparkly stuff. No, it's really not.
Jill Tarkin said, love the Hoffman family, first grade baby. Hashtag first grade baby. I'm guessing she was in her class.
Cat, the cat and all of them seem to go to school together, and that's a really good group that's come through here and we've reconnected with since we've been
Absolutely.
back. And a lot of them are teachers, and here I go. I'm leading your show. I'm
doing
right into the school.
That's what it's here for.
One of the reasons, I always wanted, part of being the Scoutmaster is, giving back, teaching, wanting to reach out. And I think that was one of the reasons I really wanted to be on the school board. I couldn't be on the city council because we live outside of town.
Right.
But I feel I would have more of an impact on the school board. Now, I've only been to one meeting, but I've been through about, good Lord, 25 hours of training so far. online and in person. And, you know, you don't know what you know until you get into these things. Some of these topics and some of the stuff in the school board is like, holy cow. How do we not know this as a general public? How are things like that? So I really, more to come with the school board. I'm still a baby on it, and I'm going to be a baby. I love Kenny Fisher and Jonte. They've been on it for a little bit over a year now.
Right.
And, they look at me at that first meeting and they're like, just keep your ears open, your eyes wide open too, because you're going to learn so much over the next year. That you're going to be amazed.
And it's so weird how we connect. Like you were talking about Jill and just the community around you.
Yeah.
Like I grew up with Jill and them at First Baptist, and I remember their son jumping on my shoulders and me running him around the auditorium and stuff. Like I love that family. They're amazing people.
And now he's a big boy up in Odessa making
I know,
a great
right?
career out of
I'm getting old, is what it is.
Hey, we all are. I turned 50 a couple weeks ago, and boy, I've been feeling it. But yeah, Jill's had an amazing impact on Ty.
Right.
She was one of his teachers. Every single one of Ty's teachers through Silsbee have done an amazing job. But it's the ones that are, third grade, second grade, first grade, kindergarten,
right,
really have that biggest impact that push these kids and get them started. Jill Tarkington was one of them, and Ty will tell you that she was one of his most impactful teachers.
And it's one of those things where you realize that every time you see it online or every time you hear an older person who is super wise say it, you don't realize that it's the truth until you actually live it. But it really does take a village.
It does.
Whether it's business, whether it's your kids, whatever it is, it takes a village to do these things. And I kind of, sometimes in my heart, I'm like, man, I hate it for like bigger towns because unless they're like scooped into sex or something like that, they don't get this kind of stuff.
They don't. The community outreach here in this town, I think is what makes people fall in love with it, and I wish that other people would be able to kind of see that. Not every town has this. I don't even think our neighbor at Lumberton has this.
Right.
Just think about how many people have gotten you into this brand new studio.
Absolutely.
You've done an amazing job, and you've worked so hard to get here. But like you said, it's been a village. There's been so many people that have helped along the way. Same with us down here, downtown. I'm looking up at this thing and all these people saying that the Hoffman family is a great family. Yeah. Everybody, I see Miss Deckard, Miss Denise Deckard comes into our shop almost every day.
Absolutely.
I love Miss Denise in her donut runs to the old people home. And I don't mean to make that as a derogatory. Mill Creek, I think, is where she takes it.
Yes,
to.
Mill Creek. Yes.
Everybody, every single business down here, the Hive, the both Florist place down here,
right?
The gun store, the barbershop, everybody has had somebody standing beside them at some time in their life saying, let's do this.
Let's do this.
And, you just keep going.
I used to tell a story all the time. One of the reasons that I started this was a story I heard a long time ago from a man named Todd Beamer. He was one of the passengers on the flight that went down before it hit the Pentagon during 9/11. And when he was on that flight, he called his wife and he talked to his daughter and he talked to his wife and he said, I love you. You probably won't see me again, blah, blah, blah. All the things that he was saying in the moment. And then right before the phone hangs up, he had already devised a plan with the other passengers to take over the flight back away from the terrorist. And the last words out of his mouth are, let's roll. When I hear that, it touches me in my heart because a lot of people talk about it, but certain people do it.
Right.
and you and your family are one of those who have done it. You said, let's roll.
You're one of many, and I don't think there's enough credit given to a lot of other people in this town.
Absolutely.
You see a lot of people in the background working, especially kind of at the city level.
Yes.
One of the greatest people that work down at the city, Roger Martin. He is such
100%.
a wealth of advice for us on, things that we need to do and where to go. In the background down here, downtown, the people that are really helping trying to get the Pines going. I really wish it would be going a little bit faster on that. Robert Worthy
Yes.
puts a ton of time into this
Absolutely.
downtown. And just all these unsung heroes in this little town that don't ask for praise. We don't ask for praise.
Yeah.
We'd rather just do it and let our actions speak for us. But, there's always people who are so quick to criticize, and that's what's frustrating. And I think that's why a lot of people in this town and other little towns don't step up, because people are so quick to criticize other people's intentions or motives or whatever you want to call it, that some people are afraid to get out there and say, well, we want to do this, or we're going to do this, because they don't want that criticism. Criticism's tough.
It is.
It's very tough. I mean, good Lord, look, see what happened to Chief Blackwell.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you live by Facebook, you die by Facebook.
That's it.
And now you got with this other one, Twitch. Hell, I'm 50 years old.
Yeah,
I don't even know what Twitch is.
So, real quick, Twitch is normally just for gamers, but we figured, hey, if we're going to go down every avenue, we're going to go down every avenue. So we're on Twitch too. Why not? But
getting back to it, everybody is always so quick to judge, and then they don't want to ever do anything about it.
Right.
I was looking at some, and I was trying to get. I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but I knew you were going to speak up or speak a little bit about the school board.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
was really disappointed in. Well, first let me start with, I'm extremely thankful for everybody that came out to vote.
Right.
Even if you didn't vote for me, I am so thankful that you came out to vote. What I am disappointed about is only 5% of the registered voters in the Silsbee ISD actually voted. I think it was like 5.06%.
When I ran, it was 3%.
That's unreal.
It's unreal.
Unreal. But you always see everybody being so critical of the school.
Yep.
So critical of the school, but you don't know what the background is.
Right.
You don't know what's actually happening. You don't know, A, B, or C when, you got to have those to get to Z.
Right.
But you only come out 5%. Only 5% show up. That's, it's kind of hypocritical to me. And some people might hate me for saying that, but for me, it's hypocritical.
But you definitely. And it's probably the rest of the 95% that didn't vote. When something bad happens at school, they're the ones that want to voice their opinions on social media.
Right.
On this show, we call it like it is.
Yeah.
What can I say?
People either like me or they hate me.
Yeah.
That's the way it's always been. I love the people who love me and love people who hate me. It's not worth hating anybody in my life. I really, hate is a very harsh word. I would say I don't hate anybody. I can dislike people, but I don't hate anybody.
Yeah, I don't either. But people do. So I'm the same, and I'll tell you this: when they ask me how it affects me or how do I sleep at night, I'm telling them on a soft pillow it's 62 degrees.
Good Lord! I thought
That's
my
how
house. We keep ours at 68.
No,
62.
we keep ours cold, icebox cold.
Lord, John.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Like. I don't, you were talking about building on someone's back and the community and stuff. I'm going to tell you this. When I started this, I was just a 30-year-old chubby kid who wanted to entertain people. And for somehow, I still don't know how, but I've had people call me, what was it? Community activist, a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Like, and I never expected that. That's not what I wanted. But when in my life, in my faith, when God tells you to move, you move. And if that's what the people want me to be, that's what I'm going to be.
I did see kind of a comment the other, it was a while, but it wasn't a while back. It was during the whole Chief Blackwell thing. And somebody called you, I think you soft. Yeah, you went soft. And I was like, man, that's the last thing I would have called John. I don't think I would ever have called you soft. Maybe soft around here.
Right here.
You know, not in your thoughts and your passion. You know, you might have been taking, I don't know what the scenario was, but, you know, you might have been taking a pause. You might have been trying to gather all the data or whatever, and they expected you to do a little bit more. But, you know, they're again, people are always quick to or rush to judgment when they don't know everything that's going on in the background.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that. So, all right. So how do you do it all?
Lots of coffee, about 5-6 hours of sleep, and great support.
Yes.
You know, any of y'all that know my wife knows that if she believes in something, she's going to support it 100% of the way. And I think her and I have always had each other's back since, you know, the day we met. Probably not the day we met, but, you know, shortly thereafter. You know, people like, I've been getting text messages from friends like Todd Casalaw, who's always there saying,
yes,
you know,
amazing, amazing.
You know, like I said, Roger Martin's like, what can we do to help you from this standpoint? And just friends overall, you know, somebody like you asking us to come on and talk. We have amazing set of
customers.
You know, Ty was just on the TV. I don't know.
Yeah, Angel San Juan.
Angel San Juan
yes.
came. And probably the only reason Angel came is because Ty has this one husband and wife group, the Browns. They've been to almost, I think, every single one of his date nights. They called Angel San Juan, and they're like, look, you've got something special down here that you really need to go interview. But it's things like that, people like that who believe in you and keep you motivated and keep you pushing, grab you by the seat of your pants and say, come on, let's go, keep doing this. What are we doing next? You know, and same with, you know, just anything going on down here.
No, okay.
No, not that different.
Okay. So, and that's it. Like you just, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting here doing a show, finish the show, take my mic and slam it on the ground, say, I'm done. I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm done. I'm not coming back. I pick up the phone. You talk about your wife being one of your biggest supporters. I pick up the phone, and Miss Bobby is on the other end, and I say, I quit. She says, the hell you do.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff, man, I'm telling you, the support and love, and I know you feel it too. I know I feel it, that I wouldn't be here where I'm at today without our community.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. And I really don't think any small business
in
any community, I know we cannot survive without our community help.
Right.
You know, it's so easy to just run down to Beaumont and
it is.
And grab a shirt at hell, what's still in the mall? Dillard's? Is Dillard's still there?
Yeah.
It seems like that mall is changing stores all the time. Instead of coming over here to Market on the Square, or even down here to Love Gentry, which if none of y'all been into the Gentry Ballas shop, y'all are missing out.
I'm telling you.
You've got to get down there to Gentry Ballas.
In fact,
I have to hold Katharina back. That's one of her favorite places to go to.
So I shouldn't tell my secret, but so everybody's been raving about Waffle House, and don't get me wrong, I love the fact that we're getting a Waffle House. It's great. Yeah. Okay. But have you ever ate breakfast at Peavy's?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
I that's right. Shania said that they were back up.
Yes. And I'm telling you right now, some of the best breakfast that you'll ever eat. What is it? Lone Star Lux. Yes.
She's new to the community and she's new on the chamber.
Yes.
She's knocking it out at the park. She also just took a good little promotion up at the high school now, too. So
I'm so proud of that girl.
yeah, they're all. I mean, if y'all, one of the things that I really like that the chamber's doing right now is highlighting their members.
Yes.
They've got some amazing members. That, well, not necessarily members, board of directors and their people who are helping. They've got some amazing people over there. And I encourage you to bring Melissa. If Melissa doesn't want to get in front of the TV screen,
one of these days,
bring Sarah Castellal.
Sarah too.
Sarah will talk your ear off more than I will.
She's not getting out of that because she's already promised.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
There's a microphone right here.
We're setting it up. But yes, Jill. Is it? I always mess up. It's Posky. Yeah. Jill Posky is absolutely amazing. Her husband Jesse is amazing as well. Yes, Peavy's, man. Peavy's. So I was in there eating breakfast. It was the best breakfast I've eaten in a while. Super good and super affordable. And Michael showed up and he sat down and talked to me for a minute. And we were talking about Love Gentry and everything. And y'all go out and check her stuff out. Like, it's awesome. Go to all our local places. I'm telling you, if you sit there and tell me I cannot find it in Silsbee, I'm not going to believe you.
Right.
Like,
we do have a little bit of something throughout this town.
Yeah.
You just got to look out there. I mean, hell, we serve coffee. Village Creek serves some great coffee too.
Yeah.
Just gun store, antique stores.
Right.
The old pawn shops. There's so much, junkies. What do you have?
Some of the best restaurants in town.
Yeah.
Little Mexico, Tiger Hut, y'all, Mr. Burger, Jay's Cajun, all these people out here, just like I said, Village Creek, Silsbee Seafood. Yes.
We love supporting. Ty and I will go around. We'll all go around, and talk to what is the.
She said the Bo, John, and Sarah show.
Oh Lord, no! We need a 2-hour show.
I would get canceled in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we would need a 2-hour show, and there probably need to be a glass of wine in every one of our
Yeah,
games,
absolutely.
But, we try to support local because we want people to support us.
Right.
Ty and I went over to Mr. Burger's the other day and had an amazing burger.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here watching him, and he's putting together a fog machine, and then he's got a little strobe light thing going on. He's trying to really make things fun.
Yeah.
For his location. Wendy at Tiger Hut is always doing something great for the community.
Right.
And that's the thing. These people who give back to us small businesses.
Right.
Us small businesses are giving back to the community.
100%.
May it be 4-H or FFA supporting their buckles, or the cheerleaders, or God, OpGrad, please support OpGrad because I've got a senior this year. Giving back, and you only see that from your local small businesses. Your McDonald's and them, they're not. They might, but it's not out there like that. And another one that's kind of drives us nuts, and I might get some flack about this, and my wife's ears are probably tuning in right now. And I want to preface with saying, I don't have an issue with like Mr. Burger being a portable unit. He's made a solid business out of himself. Local.
Right.
Jay's Cajun, he's tied into the power grid. He's making he's got his own thing. What drives all of us nuts, every single food establishment in here, is when these guys bring in their trailers, park, in some cases right in front of another food establishment, take those customers and then all their money and then haul butt. They're not paying the taxes that we have to pay.
Right.
They're not having to, have the people knock on their door and say, hey, would you mind giving to us because we need to support, three buckles for our next 4-H show or whatever. They don't. They haul butt. They get out of here. They take their money and run while we're stuck here. Not stuck, and that's such a
I know what you mean.
I hope you understand where I'm coming from. It's
established.
It's very frustrating for established people,
right?
When outside outside food services, outside food companies come in, park, within spitting distance of some of us sometimes.
Right.
And it's no big deal.
Absolutely.
So I know Kurt Woodard. I know him really well. He's a good friend of mine. They're talking about some things, hopefully at the city council level to kind of work with that, and not necessarily. I'm not saying they can't come in,
Right.
but good Lord, have a little bit of professional dignity and professionalism about you, and don't park right in front or within a certain distance of another food establishment.
Well, and I'll say this about the city council. One of the things that I've always, you talked about it earlier about, other places mimicking other places and stuff like that. I've always said that one of the best ideas for city councils is to watch other city councils, because other city councils already have food truck laws, and some of these food truck laws are super successful, and it helps all parties. So that's what we need to be doing. And when I ran, I always talked about out of the box ideas. Like, that's what I was referring to. Let's take other people's ideas that we already know that are successful and implement them inside Silsbee,
right,
and make them work, because they can. We already seen a track record of their success, so let's do it here,
right,
and it's going to benefit everybody. Right. And I think that not only for a city council, but for a school district as well, we could do the same thing.
There is, and you kind of mentioned that learning from other people's mistakes and stuff. Back on the school board thing, when I was sent to San Antonio for a couple days, and got to sit in 2 days worth of grinding out, rules, regulations, what the state can and can't do, and which things like that. And they ended the session, which I really enjoyed, with a whole panel of tenured school board trustees, and said, ask what you want.
Right.
And for like 4 hours, we just got to ask what they wanted. As a new trustee, I think that was probably one of my biggest learning things. But yes, learning from your mistakes, learning from other cities' mistakes, learning from other businesses' mistakes, but also not having that pride to shut all that out too. As a small business owner, it is very difficult to kind of take criticism, or constructive criticism, I should say, to help better yourself, because you think you know it all.
And I think that's the biggest lesson that anybody could learn, is realize that you're not always right. I've had to learn that the hard way.
Yes.
When I signed on at my new job, in the interview, they asked me, hey, how much do you know about hospice? Not a thing. I could have sit there and said, oh man, I know all about it, and lied to them, but I didn't.
Yes.
I don't know jack squat about hospice. Are you going to teach me? Yeah. And they do. Yeah. And knowing that put them in their minds to say, hey, he's on this level. We need to bring him to this level. Mm-hmm. But I started out on a level that I knew that I could attain knowledge and grow from that knowledge. If I were to walk in there and say, oh, I already know about it, they would have expected me already here, not knowing anything. So be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
I
think being always willing to learn is the biggest thing. And I've got to remind myself of that sometimes too. Hey, dummy, you don't know everything.
Right.
I might know a lot, but I don't know everything.
Here's what it's not that you don't know everything. It's the old say, be teachable. If you can be teachable, I always tell people a story about me in Walmart, and I was going through a really crummy time, and I was in Walmart, and there was an older gentleman right in front of me, and we were in the self-service thing, and we were waiting on a lane to open up, and I was sitting there, and I was like real just like depressed and angry and stuff, and he turns around to me and says, hey son, are you okay? And I could have lied to him right there, just like everybody. Oh yeah, I'm fine. But I didn't, because I'm transparent. I was like, no, my day sucks. Like, I'm having a really hard time right now, and everything's going bad, and I don't know what to do. And he looked at me, and just only wisdom that old people can give. I love old people because they give the best wisdom. He looks at me dead in the face. He says, son, I'm going to teach you something that you'll never hear again. I was like, what's that? He goes, son, if the mountain was smooth, you couldn't climb it. And when he said that, changed my whole life. Because I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. Like everything I'm doing in my life is causing me setbacks, but it's because I have to climb over those all the way to the top. That's a beautiful sentiment. Man, I can't tell you how much I love when you come on the show, because I just get pumped.
Well,
So
next time I'll have to bring some friends.
I'm telling you, bring some friends next time. I've got plenty of microphones, don't we? Well, we should be good. Yeah. We'll light it up here. But yeah, so
We went way off script. I'm pretty sure. So I don't, ask away. We could get back, reel it back in, John. Reel it. Back in.
So as you've been on the school board, we talked about support earlier. How do you feel like your support's been as far as you being new and getting on there?
So the group that I'm joining is a really phenomenal group. You've got a couple guys that have been in there, a year or two now, and they've really kind of like said, "Hey, come on, this is what you need to do. This is how, and you're going to learn it. Don't get frustrated." Then you got somebody who like Bo Hoffman, who is one of the biggest Silsbee ISD cheerleaders out there that you could have. He loves Silsbee ISD.
Absolutely.
And he's in a perfect position. And then you got somebody like Jim DeGaravia and Dana Hancock, who have all of this, this massive amount of knowledge and that you just need to tap into. I haven't been on very long, and we've only had one official meeting since I've been on, but I'm really looking forward to this group of people, because you can really tell that the passion is there to want to do something for this school. But the challenge is that the state keeps throwing towards not only Silsbee ISD, but all of the ISDs in the school. In the state of Texas, it is very difficult. Not only from the money side, but how the schools are graded and how they're compensated and how what the state expects.
Right.
And it's a constant moving target, basically, is what it feels like. So it's the support from the group that I'm joining. I couldn't ask for more, and I'm looking really forward to this next year to see how we can make a difference.
And just like, even when I was in the writing for the Silsbee Bee and stuff like that, I'd get to go to those meetings, which I plan on coming back and doing a little something. But I'll tell you this: you have a great group of people up there.
Oh yeah.
And we always talk about it. We talk about the board. On this show, we love our communities. We love our sports teams. We love our educational departments, all of our teachers, our boards and stuff. I'm going to pick on her, but even Miss Kelsey, who is probably the best director of communication that Silsbee ISD has ever had.
She's really good.
She's fantastic.
But everybody in that back house,
yes,
behind that glass door, you don't get to see them much because they're so busy trying to keep up with things and keep up with all the changes. Dr. Weiss does a phenomenal job, and he's got an awesome team. From everybody from the front door to the back door at that facility is really top notch. And
so, you see them, and you see them as school board members, and you're like, okay, and they have problems, right? But I'm going to tell you this.
There's not a school district that doesn't.
That's number one. Number two is, have you actually sat down and had a conversation with one of them? Because I guarantee you, after that conversation, you're probably going to like them a little bit more.
Right.
And same thing with me. Like, people all, hey man, you're actually kind of a cool guy to sit down and talk to. That's because you've never done it before.
Right.
Like, if we would just stop and open up lines of communication, especially with our representatives, with our leadership in our community, will take you further than a law or a bill ever will.
Yep. Law or a bill right now will drag your butt down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it's not just Silsbee ISD.
No, it's not.
When I went to San Antonio for the training, every school district is having issues. Every single school district has issues. But you sit and you step back and go, wow, we don't have it as bad as what we thought.
Right.
There was several school districts that I got to talk to that were about the same size as ours, that only had, ag mechanics in their CTE program. And here we are with one of the best CTE programs in the state of Texas.
Absolutely.
So I think, people kind of need to stop highlighting the negative that they might or they perceive that's wrong with the school, and really step back and look at what the school district, not just Silsbee School District, but what every school district, you might not be in the Silsbee School District, you might be in Lumberton watching the show, what your individual school district is really doing good. And also ask, what can I do to help? There's not enough people that want to help anywhere. Yeah.
We're talking about that communication, and it's funny to me because you talked earlier about the whole soft thing.
Mm.
So I haven't updated everybody on that, but the guy sent me another email back. He said, man, I didn't know you were going to put it out there like that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, well, I think he put it out there.
You sent me an email about me being salt, and you didn't think we was going to talk about it?
Yep.
Oh, we're going to talk about it. Like, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I'm going to talk about it. That's what I do. But man, all these school districts, let's get back on that. All these school districts are absolutely, just like us, they have amazing teachers. They have amazing staff and principals and probably pretty amazing board members too. And it's hard right now.
Yep.
It's hard for you guys to actually open up and have that dialogue with your representatives and say, hey, this is what we need. But it has to happen.
There has to be some advocacy from somewhere, and it can't just be from your school board.
Right.
The community really needs to be an advocate for their own school also. If what's the old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the
That's
oil,
it.
or whatever.
That's it.
If you as a community aren't, making the noise to your representatives on what the school needs and how they're hurting us, then they're not going to know, or they do know, or they just don't care, But as a parent, you really need to be, your first job is to be an advocate for your kid.
Right.
So, instead
Absolutely.
of criticizing, the teacher who's trying her best with the limited, him or her, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just say her, him or her, their best with their limited resources they have, instead of criticizing them, asking them, hey, is there something I can do to make your life a little bit easier?
Right.
Is there something that you need? Is there something we can help you with? Do we need to, work with our kid on this, instead of, washing your hands of the situation and just saying, well, it's the teacher's fault.
A single act of service can send shockwaves through a generation.
Yes, it can. And, I'm kind of glad you said something like that, because when we talked about the Boy Scouts, I was like, that's one of my, no matter what I've done in my life, I feel like I've made more impact being the scout leader over the past 7 years than anywhere else. I've had, some amazing kids. I've had some challenging kids, had some amazing kids.
Right.
But just throwing that little pebble, and it is like, you make a difference in this one kid's life, or say you don't make a difference, but you're teaching them something. And then that just kind of ripples out. That kid will hopefully go make another a difference in somebody else's life, which could make a difference in somebody. I might have only had 30, 40 kids underneath me in this past 7 years, but those kids are going to go out, and let's say that they impact 30 kids, and then those 30 kids do 30 kids. So it's not just what you're doing right here. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit the microphone.
Oh, you're fine.
Right here. It's everything that you're doing right here that impacts everything out there. And I don't think people have that wherewithal to kind of realize that they can be powerful if they want to be.
Absolutely. I love you just said that. And you want to talk about how that ripple effect happens. Somebody, we talked about this before the show. Somebody has been giving me gifts.
The plant that's outside.
Yeah. But what did I tell you when everybody saw it on my personal page? I put the plan on the personal page. I said, hey, I don't know who's doing this, but what kind of plant is this? You know, who's it coming from? Please let me know. Guess what? What did I tell you when I walked in the door today? What did I tell you that I was going to do out there?
What did you tell me?
I was going to make a
Yes,
box
you're gonna make
to
a box
put
for it,
pretty
yes.
flowers in.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Because somebody, I have been looking at that. So you can ask that man sitting in the producer's booth. I walk outside and stare at that spot ever since we started leasing this place. And guess what? I have not figured out what to do with it until somebody decided they were going to put a plant in the middle of it. And I was like,
you could put a nice,
I could put a planter box
out there, and it would be perfect.
But it took one, and I don't even know if they meant to do that.
Yeah.
It could be some crazy person. But whoever you are, thank you, because you made me realize what I want to do with that spot.
There's your beautification of downtown.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like that. And I get to involve other people because guess what? When I put it on Facebook, Darian McInnes, she reached out and said, hey, if you don't want that plant, you know, I'll take it. I was like, instead of you taking it, why don't you help me do the planter box? She's like, I love it.
Yeah.
So she's going to help me. So we're getting more people involved just because some person put a plant in the middle of my anthill.
And like I said, you know, it goes back to the ripple thing. One little thing, and you never know what that's gonna run into.
That's right.
But you see it everywhere. One little person makes a big difference. You just got to realize that you can make the difference.
Absolutely.
Can you believe we've been talking for 55 minutes, John?
Has it been 55
I
minutes?
just looked at the clock and I'm like,
wow.
Holy cow.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, let's get to some events, okay? We're going to try this new little thing that I learned, so bear with me. But
He already changed it.
I know. Oh, has he?
Music bingo.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I think that works. I'm going to try to turn my, there we go. All right. Is it going to come up? There it is. All right. Music bingo. Nice Guy Ricky's American Grill in Lumberton. It is every Tuesday in July and August. I think it's every Tuesday of the month, maybe. It's every second week Tuesday. So it's July 8th, July 22nd, and then August. But they do it once every 2 weeks and on Tuesday. Y'all go check it out. It's a great time. It starts at 6:30. It goes all the way to 9 p.m. And that's on Tuesdays at Nice Guy Ricky's American Grill of Lumberton. Now watch this. I think I can change.
There you go.
Look at that. Speaking of prayer, there is going to be a prayer wall for Lumberton ISD at Lumberton High School. It is going to be on the 19th of July at 9:30 a.m. So you can check out, I believe I got to pull this from Lumberton ISD or All About Lumberton or something like that. But it's out there. Just type in prayer wall for Lumberton ISD, and y'all check that out. And have fun with that. Okay, wrestling events. SWF presents Sugar Crash. It is going to be at 4054, right? Did I say that right? Look at me. I didn't have to look at the screen. 4054 Fresitas Road at the Warehouse Nightclub. It's going to be on July 19th. The doors will open at 5:30. The event will start at 6. Y'all check it out. Some of the best wrestlers in the area will all descend to the Warehouse Nightclub. And it's going to be a great night. So y'all check it out. SWF Sugar Crash, July 19th at the Warehouse Nightclub. Let's see. What's next? See, I have to wait on this thing to change because I can't blow it up. That's the big.
That's the paddling for beginners. That's the thing that always out at Village Creek.
And I wanted to add this, okay?
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to add it was because, thank you, perfect. Oh yeah, that's really good. I wanted to add it because personally, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I don't know how to swim. Okay, and I've been out there on that Village Creek. I have lost friends in those waters. Mm-hmm. If you are going to Village Creek, especially when the water is high, please be able to swim.
Yep.
That undercurrent is no joke.
This little program that they have is a good program. I think they do it at the beginning of the summer and towards the end of the summer. and it just teaches kids and adults alike how to canoe.
Yep.
Canoe and kayak. I don't know if they pull it kayaks, but it's a great little thing. I don't know if anybody's been out to Village Creek that's listening, but that's one of our favorite places to camp with Boy
Such
Scouts.
a beautiful place.
And they've put in a whole bunch of new hiking trails out there. It's really good, and it's not expensive to get a day pass.
Right.
Out. Enjoy the outdoors.
If you haven't been kayaking or canoeing down Village Creek, I'm telling you, you are missing one of the most beautiful, fun trips you'll ever have. Yep. And it is I think it's like the third largest canoe or best canoe trail in America.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
It's amazing. But definitely go down there. I'm sorry. The event is by Village Creek State Park. It is on July 25th. It starts at 9 a.m. and goes to 11. And it is in Lumberton at 157 JHC Drive in Lumberton. So y'all check that out. Please check that out. It's worthwhile to go. I cannot read that. I know it's Altus.
Yeah, that's the Altus Back to School Bash. They have that every year.
I thought
last year, I think it was in their parking lot. I can't see it either. It's too small, but I think last year they gave out a lot of school supplies, backpacks, things like that. So,
let me see if he can blow it up real quick. But it is, I think if you just press on the thing, it should yeah. There you go. All right. So Altus Back.
Oh, no, they're not doing it at their place this year. They're doing it at Gator Country.
Right.
Oh.
No. It's Saturday, July 12th, 5 to 7 p.m. I think it is at the place.
Okay. Gators.
Yeah.
They're
so
sponsors.
Saturday, July 12th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Altus. Gator Country will be there with some gators, probably some of the babies, stuff like that. They'll have a kids touch a truck, food trucks, and more. They'll also obviously be giving away back to school items. So y'all come out and check it out if you need back to school items. Now this would be a great time for you to actually go and get some of those items. It's not changing. Sorry.
New equipment learning.
I know, we're learning. Yes.
Yep.
This I thought was kind of cool. So this is at the Kirby Hill House Museum. Or no, I'm sorry. Yes, it's at the Kirby Hill House Murder Mystery Dinner Theater is what I call it. And I wrote all this stuff.
Have you ever been to one?
I've never been to one.
So
I want to
fun.
go.
They are so much fun.
My buddy actually helps with the catering whenever they do the catering. And he said it's phenomenal.
They sell out all the time.
But
so much fun.
So they are doing what they call Cowboy School 70s country style dinner and show. It's going to be at the Kirby Hill House. It is July 18th, 19th, 25th, and 26th. So you have 4 chances to go watch this amazing event. Mama Jack's is going to be catering, which if you've never had Mama Jack's, you're missing out. The doors will open at 6:30. The show is at 7. Tickets are $55 a person, but I guarantee you it's going to be worth it. You can get tickets right now at kirbyhillhouse.com.
And get your tickets because they will sell out.
They will. It will be fast. Speaking of wrestling, one of the other events that's coming up is Southern Star Wrestling Star Brawl Saturday night. These are one of our amazing sponsors. It will be at the Bullpen Sports Academy, which is 2623 Magnolia Avenue in Port Neches. It's July 19th. The doors open at 5:30, and the bell time is 6:05. You can find out more information by going to their Facebook page. They also have a Instagram, a YouTube, and a TikTok. Go check them out. Tell them that we sent you. Tickets are, did I say $12? $10. I can't read that.
I think it says 10.
Yeah, it's 10. It blends into the star. Hey, you need to fix that, by the way. No, I'm kidding. Tickets are $10. Go by, check them out. It's going to be a great night, and you never know who's going to show up at that event. Promise you that. Wink, wink.
Cool.
So, this I thought was kind of cool, too. So, this is happening July the 11th, which is this Friday. It starts at 6:30 p.m., and it goes to 8:30 p.m. and it goes to 9:30. It's Big Thicket by Lamplight, okay? It is going to be at the Sundew Trail on County Road 1910 in Warren, Texas. Sounds kind of okay. So what it is basically Texas Park and Wildlife. They're going to take you out there. They're going to talk to you about the big thicket, and they're going to tell you some of the mysterious and spooky, I'm thinking spooky stories you're supposed to bring a flashlight and make sure you bring comfortable hiking shoes. Okay.
And what I always tell the Boy Scouts, you better bring a water bottle because there is not going to be any water out there.
Right. Yeah. So it seems like, have you ever done this?
No, I haven't. Some of those trails are scary enough during the day.
I'm telling you.
I don't know what I'd want to do at night.
Right. So speaking of Lone Star Lux, we talked about them earlier. This is going to be a great event. This is the networking. I call it, I don't know what they call it, but I call it networking after dark. It's not though. It's during the day. It's after hour. That's what they call it, after hours.
Yeah.
So it's hosted this time by Lone Star Lux, which we talked about earlier, July 17th from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. 835 Highway 96 South, which if you don't know where that is, that's the community center across from Sonic. It's going to be awesome. Join in for a great time of networking. You can mix and mingle with different business owners, different people. And I believe there's going to be a custom hat bar. So you can get hats made on the spot by Lone Star Lux.
That's pretty neat.
So check it out. Like I said, it's going to be July 17th. I believe that is a Wednesday. Is it a Wednesday? Let me see.
The 17th is a
Thursday. It's Thursday. It says it right there, I think, somewhere. Anyways. It doesn't. No. So anyways, it's a Thursday, July 17th. Y'all come check them out and let them know, once again, that we sent you. We were talking about Save the Pines earlier.
Yeah, we were.
All right. Purse and pistol bingo. Okay. This is one of my favorite things in the world because I really want to
win a purse. Come on, John.
I mean,
Yeah, he definitely wants a purse.
He definitely wants a purse. I don't know. Oh, it's not playing this one.
Probably love it.
Yeah, she loves it. She definitely needs a purse in her life, even though.
So where's this one at, John?
I'm trying to read it because it's not showing up on my phone. So this is going to be at the Honky Tonk.
Honky Tonk, I see it.
Yes, Honky Tonk, Texas. There we go. Scroll down a little bit. Yeah, so it's going to be a person. There we go. Person Pistol Bingo, August 16th this year. Doors open at 10 a.m. Games start at 11 a.m. Designer purses and pistols, fun and games, delicious
food, I bet.
Scroll down.
Yep, snacks. There you go.
All right. Like I said, it's going to be at the Honky Tonk, Texas. It's going to be a great time. I cannot read that. What does it say?
It says $50 per person. This includes 14 games and your lunch. Extra games are $20. Bonus games, $10. And I think that says Daubers.
Daubers, yeah. Okay. So just so y'all know, if you make a flyer and you want me to read it and you put it in red ink, I won't be able to read it. That's just a thing. So, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, y'all come down, and it's for a great cause, guys. Save the Pines. We've got to finish this up. We have got to get the money to take care of this place because it took care of us for decades upon decades upon decades. It was your kid's babysitter. It was your date nights. It was your family time. Like all of these things that it meant to you. Now it's time for us to take care of it. So let's get it done. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I didn't put this one up here, but obviously we talked about it before. That's why we can go back to the main. That's why we got the wonderful champagne. Can you see? Yeah, there
you go.
Perfect. So Satsuma Valley Studios is hosting is going to be honored by having a ribbon cutting. It is July 19th. The ribbon cutting starts at 1 p.m. Okay. There's going to be food and everything. It's going to be a great time. But the real big thing that day is going to be at the same time, we are doing a fundraiser. And this one for me is personal. It is a fundraiser for my amazing, loving, wonderful mother. who, if you don't know, in 2023, found out that she was battling stage 3 breast cancer. She has since beat it. She is the strongest woman I have ever met. And if it wasn't for her and her faith in her son, I wouldn't be doing any of this. Because she kept pushing me just like my wife and my father and my family did. So on that day, we're going to do a link fundraiser. We've already gotten some awesome links donated by Beasley Smokehouse. So, who is a personal friend of theirs. We love the Beasleys. My grandfather actually used to work for the Beasleys back in the day. But anyway, so thank you to Beasley's Smokehouse for that donation. Also, we're going to have a link sale. If you've never had these links, I'm telling you, they're some of the best you'll ever eat. We have a recipe, okay? Melts in your mouth. So anyways, we're going to do that from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. that day. Y'all come out, support her. Basically what it is that she's still doing radiation, and financially it has kicked their butt. And so we're trying to raise some money for her. So
Healthcare.
Absolutely. We both know about that, don't we? But yeah, y'all come out and join us for that, and then join us for the ribbon cutting. I'll be here all day. Y'all can come by, check out the new studio, check out what we got going on. I'm hopeful to be completely professionally ready for it by then, but we'll see. But yeah, y'all come out and check it out. I think that's all for the events that I have. I just want to thank once again our sponsors. Bo, thank you for coming on again. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and knowledge and everything you've got going on. Bless you and Kat and Ty on when y'all open y'all's new place, and with everything you've got going on, you're going to be a great school board member. I just know it. And thank you for all you do for our community.
Anytime you want me on, give me a couple days notice. I'll come on. We'll just
absolutely. Next time we're going to bring Sarah on with you, and just
yeah, you better hold on.
I'm putting a disclaimer at the front of the show. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, but
warn the FCC.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is it. Real quick, when I was talking about that, we might be looking for what we call a keynote sponsor. It is a very expensive sponsorship. We're looking into different ways. We're about $4,000 away from completing the entire studio. And when we finish that, it's going to be recognized as a professional equipped studio. And so we're excited about that, but we're pushing forward. We're keeping it going. So if you're interested, just shoot me a line. If not, that's okay too. But, we've got some other ways we're trying to handle stuff. So anyways, but we did promise this time. We promised that we weren't going to take donations to do the studio. And so far we have done a really good job
John. Anybody who hasn't seen this, they need to come see it. You've done a really good job.
I think we're about a couple $1,000s in a piece. And we're just pushing forward. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you to all our wonderful sponsors. Please, if you see our sponsors in there, go check them out. Go love on them. Give them your support. They're great people, and they do great work. Obviously, go by, check out Kat's Korner. Check out what the school board is doing. Check out what Troop 88 is doing. Help them any way you can. Love our community. Support our community. And just remember that no matter what you do in life, when other people think that they have all the answers, you change the culture. That's my wisdom for tonight. Thank you for watching. We love you all. And if nobody has told you today, you're beautiful, you're loved, and you're absolutely worth it. We'll see you next time on Silsbee Live.
Here's a bad horn.
It's a hot
Silsbee Live.
What?
Breaking the news. Your local you. Where are you Sunday? Awesome. Separating.
Silsbee.
Here's the Halloween.
Go.
Right. Silsbee.